This one's for the chosen ones. Frequency, water, and choice. From creation to Cain and Abel, chosen ones and friends. Let us bring all these truths together into one clear picture, from the beginning of time right down to the very workings of our own minds and hearts. We start in Genesis chapter 1 verse 2. And the earth, the Eretz, was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. The word for waters in the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance is Mayim, H4325, and the Bible itself gives us the meaning in Revelation 17:15. Confirm the verses if you may. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, and nations, and tongues. So Mayim is not just liquid water, it is the unseparated, abundant mass of humanity. It is fluid, it is formless, and it always takes the shape of whatever force or frequency is moving over it. Just as water flows according to the slope of the land, nations and people flow according to the sound that is playing over them. That brings us to the role of the musician, the bard, the one who carries the sound. In 2 Kings chapter 3, we see this law in action. Three kings were stranded in the wilderness. No water, no hope, no way forward. When the prophet Elisha sought God's direction, he did not call for soldiers or supplies. At first, he said simply, bring me a musician. And the moment that musician began to play, the atmosphere shifted. The hand of the Lord came upon Elisha, and God spoke, you will not see wind, you will not see rain, yet this valley shall be filled with water. The same Mayim that covered the earth in creation began to flow again. Why? Because sound organizes the waters, frequency brings order out of chaos, music acts as a bridge between the spiritual and physical realms. It sets the vibration that determines what will manifest. This is also how we understand what we call the magic of the crowd. It is not sorcery or trickery, it is the same law working in reverse. If you control the frequency, you can control the flow of the masses. When the same rhythm, the same message, the same emotion is repeated endlessly through media, entertainment and technology, something changes inside the person. Their individual thinking softens, their conscience fades, and they start asking, is this true? And they stop asking, is this true? And start asking, does anyone else believe this? They become just another drop in the unseparated mass, easily moved, easily led, easily persuaded, and easily controlled. Even the numbers we speak of in regards of 432 hertz, 440 hertz, 940 hertz, 740 hertz, 131 hertz. They are just modern ways of measuring this same power. Your body is made of over 70% mayim, so your soul is like water. Whatever frequency you listen to, whatever you allow to resonate in your heart, begins to rearrange your inner world. So we ask, is music the key to the kingdom? Yes, but it opens two very different doors. Tune into the frequency of heaven and it calls people out of confusion, gives them identity and releases life. Tune it to the frequency of the lower realm and it keeps people bound, uniform and flowing wherever the system directs. And this brings us to the story of Cain and Abel, where we see the psychology and frequency made plain. Cain, in the Strong's Concordance, is H7014. Cain meaning acquired, self-made, earthly. His whole psychology was built on effort, ego and ownership. He brought what he had grown, what he had produced, and expected it to be received on his own terms. When it was not, his inner frequency shifted. Anger, envy and resentment began to stir his own waters. He chose to dwell in that low vibration, to speak and think from that place, and eventually it led him to murder. Cain is the prototype of the base man, living in the lower realm, ruled by his own flesh, separated from God's order and becoming part of the chaos instead of rising above it. Abel, by contrast, is H1893, Hebel, meaning breath, spirit, resonance. His psychology was one of surrender and alignment. He brought the best, the first, in harmony with God's way. His heart matched heaven's frequency, and so his offering was accepted. He showed us that right standing is not about what you have, but about what you resonate with. And remember this, Psalms 18 and 21, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Your tongue is your own personal instrument. Your voice, your thoughts, your words broadcast the frequency of what is inside you, just as the musician directed the waters in 2 Kings. What you speak and think directs the waters of your own soul. So here's the full truth. Whoever controls the frequency controls the waters, the unseparated nations. Whoever controls the waters controls the nations, and more importantly, controls their own soul. Cain chose the frequency of self and ended in death. Abel chose the frequency of surrender and stood in life. The crowd flows with whatever sound is loudest, but you have been given the power to choose what you listen to, what you think and what you speak. Will you remain an unseparated water, flowing with the tide, or will you tune your life to the frequency of truth, become unseparated unto one purpose, which is to walk in the order of the kingdom? The sound you allow in will always determine which path you take. Amen.